People getting rowdy out here. Not sure what that. Following the oil crisis of the 70s, super strong lowrider culture. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Nick Lang and I'm here with my lovely wife Sarah, and we're at the Cajon Classic Cruise in Cajon, California. The theme of the night is Impala Night, and cars are just starting to arrive, so let's start checking them out. Check out how cool this is. This early Ford has an electric motor that pulls air in from the fender and pushes it into the cabin instead of just having the conventional air vents of the time. That's probably a super rare feature, and it's definitely super cool to see early on this car. Here's our first Impala of the night. This is a Impala SS. Manual transmission, probably has a 350 or a 289 in it. People getting rowdy out here. Not sure what that's about. Beautiful car. And these are actually super cool because this is kind of the origin of the modern Chevy SS, Pontiacs G6, G8, cars like that, where they're a large car, they're practical, they're utilitarian, but they're still fun to drive. More Impalas here today. Definitely an iconic car in American history, not quite as popular and as the Camaro and the Mustang are today, but the Impala was actually GM's best-selling car, and for a long time was the best-selling car in the United States. These cars are absolutely gorgeous. Huge icons in American history. Look at the blue on this second-gen Camaro. It's a beautiful color. Like the 60s, such a different time. 63. Falcon. Falcon is actually something I'd like to have, something very similar to this in the future. 63 Falcon. Basically a Mustang without the aggressive styling. Still very classic though. Something I feel like a lot of people don't know is that the Bel Air is actually part of the lineage of the Impala. In the 50s, the Bel Air was one of GM's best-selling vehicles, and as the full-size car, it formed the kind of base that the Impalas would be built off of. The Impala would actually be introduced as a higher trim level than the Bel Air. And then later on, GM would introduce another trim level above the Impala, the Caprice, and they were all built on the same chassis, same platform, more or less the same car, just with a little bit different trim, and the Impala and then the Caprice above it each had increasingly greater features standard. Beautiful and fairly rare Corvette right here. Awesome car. Well deserved for sure. This car is a C2 Corvette, and personally my favorite generation Corvette. This was GM's second real attempt at a fiberglass bodied car, and overall these are very well loved cars. They have the infamous 63 split window, of which this is an example. Hard to know if this is an original 63 or not, because the aftermarket has produced kits, but it sure looks like it. It doesn't really look like there's been much body work done there. Overall, these are just absolutely gorgeous cars, and super cool example of 60s engineering, 60s styling. I really like the styling on these Novas. Always reminds me of like a 66, 67 Impala. A little bit more of a fastback than the Impalas, but really cool car. Front end definitely looks a lot like the Impala or Chevelle. Another icon of American automotive history, the Fox Body Mustang. The styling and overall design of the Fox Body Mustang really came out of Ford's need to have a more economical sports car following the oil crisis of the 70s. The Fox Body is a super well loved and iconic part of classic American pop culture, and really is one of the cooler vehicles here in that sense. Here's a California car if ever there was one. An Oldsmobile Woody. Not sure what the model would have been, but definitely a very California car. Has the surfboard and everything. Family car, beach cruiser. Perfect utility vehicle. That's awesome. There it is. An AMX Radical. Wow, an AMX. This has to be one of the most underrated and probably least celebrated sports cars of American history. That's awesome. To be honest, I'm not extremely familiar with them, but that's cool. 65 Impala. Pretty cool. The late 60s Impalas are probably my favorite car. I think my favorite year is a 67. 68's not bad either though. We've reached the plaza.
Some people call it dark cherry. Black cherry. Black cherry, you know what I mean? I like black cherry.
A lot of themed cars that fit the theme of the night are here. 50s Impalas, 60s Impalas. Super classy cars. '67 convertible. Probably my favorite front end they ever put on a car there. Classy interior.
Did we get a motherfucker? Are you sure you don't want a hot dog? You want a hot dog? You want a hot dog? No, okay,
These Impalas are a super cool example of the super strong lowrider culture here in Southern California. Personally, I'm much more of a muscle guy, but these lowriders have definitely done a ton to shape the car scene in Southern California and honestly worldwide. It's hard to say if without lowriders pinstriping and the super ornate attention to detail on everything, the front of the car, the interior of the car, the chassis of the cars, really everywhere on these cars there's an incredible attention to detail. Hard to say that that would have developed if not for the lowrider. The 68 Impala didn't make it into the plaza, but it got a front row seat. Talk about super sport. This isn't a super sport, it's a Bel Air, but that's got to be 700 horsepower or more, probably. Several 65 Impalas here tonight. Gorgeous black, vinyl top. Pretty original. I am partial to the Impala, but the Fairlane is an awesome full-size classic, Ford produced. Very distinctive. These classic Broncos are super hot right now. This thing's gorgeous. I really like these super old school Ford trucks. Small block Chevy, very traditional hot rod. '65 Mustang Fastback. Clearly a lot of money in this project. Beautiful. I think some people might be upset when you call something like this a project. Obviously it's in its end game, but to me these old cars, they'll almost always require tinkering with. I think that's part of their allure to me. You actually have a hobby and a little bit of a relationship with the car, almost no matter how much money you put into them. Beautiful. As usual, the Vortex car is here. Pretty cool to see the community with all these cars that come out every week. Here's some real American history right here. No, they're not as capable or cool as today's Jeeps, but this is where both the love of them and the concept came from. And these Dodge Power Wagons, were the real workhorses of World War II. Wish I knew more about these that I could share with you guys. Since I just did one of these swaps, I'll take a closer look at this. It's definitely the truck engine. Looks like the truck accessory drive. Truck intake. Beautiful though. Truck water pump. Bet it's a little rowdy. Look at the paint on this. '54 Ford. Awesome car. Imagine family road trips or even just driving these to work on Sunday. Got that awesome door handle there. A sick car for sure. A lovely wife waiting over there. Alright guys, we saw lots of cool stuff tonight. Personally, I definitely enjoyed tonight's Impala theme a lot more than the police and fire appreciation theme that we saw a couple weeks ago. I've definitely tired out my wife. She's put up with a lot from me tonight. So we're going to be done for tonight. Check back in a couple weeks for another car show video and stay tuned for more car build videos. Thanks for watching.